Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Javiyare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyare Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaridhare Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanananda Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tira Vanachare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radhe Sham, Lalita Vishaka, Jaya Radhe Sham. Jaya Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Anitai Gaur Hariva, 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 Gaur Hariva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Para-vyomete Astotharasata Sri Śrīmad. His Divine Grace Abhaya Charanara Vrindavan Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Savior of the whole world Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitalila Pravista Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Para-vyomete Astotharasata Sri Śrīmad. His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nāma Acharya Brahmacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Si Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Hari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gogo Pinat Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhama Ki Jai. Sri Vrindavan Dhamma Ki Jai. Sri Mathura Dhamma Ki Jai. Sri Dhamayapur Dhamma Ki Jai. Sri Navadvip Dhamma Ki Jai. Nilachala Jagannatapuri Dhamma Ki Jai. Ayodhya Dhamma Ki Jai. Dwaraka Dhamma Ki Jai. Gangamai Ki Jai. Jamunamai Ki Jai. Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Shama Sundara Lalita Vishaka Ki Jai. Sri Sri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Shri Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glory to Srila Prabhupada Jai. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So everyone is welcome to this morning's Chaitanya Charitamrita class. Today we are reading from the Adi Lila, chapter 2, text 23 and 24. I don't know what is on the board, I think. Both? Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa nāma. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Veda bhagavata upaniṣat āgama. Is it there? Yes. Pūrṇa-tattva yāṅre kahe nāhi yāṅra samaha. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa nāma. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Veda bhagavata upaniṣat āgama. Just read the first verse. Okay. All right, so we do the first verse and then the second verse I'll do it by myself. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa nāma. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Somebody want to try? Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa namaha. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa namaha. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa namaha. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa namaha. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. Para-vyomete vaise Nārāyaṇa namaha. ṣaḍ-aiśvarya-pūrṇa lakṣmī-kānta bhagavān. So word for word translation. Para-vyomete in the transcendental world. Vaise sits. Nārāyaṇa, Lord Nārayan. Nāma, of the name. ṣaṭ-aiśvarya, of 6 kinds of opulences. pūrṇa, full. lakṣmī-kānta, the husband of the goddess of opulence. Bhagavān, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation. Lord Nārayaṇa, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulences. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the goddess of fortune. There is no purport, so we go to the next text, which says, Veda bhagavata upaniṣat āgama pūrṇa-tattva yāṅre kahe nāhi yāṅra samaha. Translation. The personality of Godhead is he who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upaniṣads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to him. So we can read the translations together. Text 23. Lord Nārayaṇa, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulences. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the goddess of fortune. And text 24 says, the personality of Godhead is he who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upaniṣads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to him. Srila Prabhupada's purport. There are innumerable authoritative statements in the Vedas regarding the personal feature of the absolute truth. Some of them are as follows. 1. From the Rik Samhita 1.22.20. Tad Vishnu paramam padam sada pashanti suryayaha diviva chakshuratatam. The personality of God at Vishnu is the absolute truth, whose lotus feet all the demigods are always eager to see. Like the sun god, he pervades everything by the rays of his energy. He appears impersonal to imperfect eyes. 2. From the Nārāyaṇa Tarva Shira Upaniṣads 1 and 2. Nārāyaṇa riva samupadyante Nārāyaṇat pravatante Nārāyaṇe praliyante ata nityo Nārāyaṇaha Nārāyaṇa evidam sarvam yadbhutam yatcha bhavyam sudo devo eko Nārāyaṇo na dvitiyo sti katschit. It is from Nārayan all that everything is generated. By him only that everything is maintained, and in him only that everything is annihilated. Therefore, Nārayan is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Nārayan, who is the unadulterated deity. There is only Nārayan and nothing else. 3. From the Nārāyaṇa Upaniṣads 1.4. Yata prashuta jagata pashuti. Nārāyaṇa is the source from whom all the universes emanate. 4. From the higher Srisa Pancharatra Paramatma Hari Devaha. Hari is the Supreme Lord. From Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 11th canto, 3rd chapter, verses 34 and 35. Nārāyaṇa bidanasya brahmana paramatmanaha nishtam arata no vaktum yuyam hi brahma vitamaha. O best of the brahmanas, please tell us of the position of Nārayan, who is also known as Brahman and Paramatma. Stiti ubhava pralaya hetur aheturasya yat swapna jagara susuptisu ṣaḍ-aiśvarya dehandriyasu hridayani charanti yena sanjivitani tat aveha parama narendra. O King, know him who is causeless and yet is a cause of creation, maintenance, and annihilation. He exists in the 3 states of consciousness, namely waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, as well as beyond them. He enlivens the body, the senses, the breath of life, and the heart, and thus they move. Know him to be the Supreme. Om Jnanatimridasya Jnanan Jnanashalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yukta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahoguna Ragunastam Bitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahogana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Iti Namini Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Asri Tatmane Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namini Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Saraswati Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvesesa Suyavadi Pasachade Satarini. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini Gaura Twize Namaha. Nityanando Vatutendur Vasuda Pranavalabha Janavir Jivita Patir Krishna Prema Pradaprabhu Padmavati Sutta Srimam Sachidananda Bhuvum Mata Jagatrakta Rakta Gora Kilevaraha Advaitam Harinadvaita Acharyam Bhakti Shamshanat Bhaktavataram Itam Sham Advaita Acharya Ashraye Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaritaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopita Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pango Mama Mandergatin Masarvaswa Padambu Jorada Mandana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Simhasanastau Srila Govinda Devo Prishyalibi Sivyamano Smarami Shrimam Rasarasarambi Vam Sivata Tatastita Karsan Venuswanai Gopi Gopinata Sriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaura Mukta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Translation again. Lord Nārāyaṇa, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulences. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the goddess of fortune. The personality of Godhead is he who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upaniṣads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to him. Bukam karoti vachalam pangum lagayete grim yat kriya patamahan vande Shri Guru Dina Taranam Paramanam Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Akanda Mandala Karam Vyaptaina Chara Charam Tatpadam Dashitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share the little we have with this verse. Actually, in verse 22, these verses are simply an extension of verse 22, which says, Govinda personally appears as Chaitanya Goshani. No other Lord is as merciful in delivering the fallen souls. So these verses are just continuing to describe the position of Govinda, who appeared in this world as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver all of us And that is why we are all gathered here. So that is the continuation of the discussion. So before we proceed to say something, we seek the mercy of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis who are present in this class. In the words of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Durga me pati me indasya. My path is very difficult. Skala pada gate muhuru. Swa krepa yastedanena. Santa santa avalambalam. Krishnadas Goswami is praying that may the saints lend me their support, lend me the stick of their mercy, so that he can execute the duty of writing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, my path is difficult. I am blind, and my feet are slipping every moment. Therefore, I need the mercy, the stick of mercy from the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis in order to execute this sacred duty of representing the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, we are all here because of the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Without the mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, I don't think I will sit here. Maybe you may sit, but for me, I know for sure that it is by the divine grace of Srila A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada that I have come all the way from Africa to Vrindavan Dham. This is only possible by the costless mercy of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. It is mentioned somewhere in the Lilamrita, one devotee was asking Srila Prabhupada, what is my good fortune? What great credit did I perform in my last life to participate in Krishna consciousness? And Srila Prabhupada simply smiled and said, I am that credit. I am your good fortune. If Srila Prabhupada had not left Vrindavan and gone west, I don't think we will be here today. So we are all here as a result of the mercy of the Vaishnavas. And we have to continue to depend on that mercy. As soon as we miss that mercy, Maya will carry us back to where we have come from. The wave of Maya is so strong. This is Maya's abode. The material world is Maya's kingdom. We have no strength. It's like when you find yourself in a very swiftly flowing river. Even if you are a very expert swimmer, you have a chance of being washed away. So Maya is very swift. Every moment, the waves are increasing, especially in Kali Yuga. We are proud of internet, but the internet is full of all kinds of things. A little inattention, you are carried away from your Krishna consciousness. So therefore, we constantly need the mercy of the Vaishnavas. And that is why Srila Prabhupada created this movement. This movement is an association of devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is a movement to provide sadhu sangha, to provide devotee association, because only in that devotee association can we make progress. Sadhu Sangha, Krishna Kripa, Bhakti, Bhaktirya, Swabhava. Three things are needed. Sadhu Sangha. Without Sadhu Sangha, we are going nowhere. Without Krishna's mercy, we are going nowhere. And without the very nature of Bhakti, Bhaktira Swabhava, the very nature of Bhakti is so wonderful that a little effort, a little endeavor, Bhakti Devi blesses the living entity. So therefore, our presence in this holy dham of Sri Vrindavan is a causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And therefore, we all owe Srila Prabhupada an unlimited debt. We cannot pay that debt in one life. We have to pay this debt in many, many lives. So we are grateful to Srila Prabhupada for establishing this wonderful organization and giving us the opportunity to participate, giving us the opportunity to come to Krishna's land, Vrindavan, giving us the opportunity to chant the holy names of Krishna and experience transcendence. So, these two verses are speaking about the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Krishna is described in the Shastra as para. Para means he is the best of the best. Krishna is the best of the best. No one is superior to him and no one is equal to him. Srila Prabhupada says, if we don't grasp this understanding, then there is every tendency we may look at the demigods. Demigod worship is based on the fact that we think they are equal to Krishna. That is a misunderstanding. Therefore, the scripture says, para. Krishna is the best of the best. No one is equal to him, and no one is better than him. We must firmly establish that in our hearts. Then we can practice Krishna Bhakti without looking here and without looking there. Krishnadas Kaviraj also mentions Naya Kanam Shiro Radnam Krishna Stus Bhagavan Swayam Yatra Nityataya Sarve Virajante Mahagunam. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a crown jewel of all heroes. And in Krishna, all the good qualities are permanently situated. In Krishna, all the good qualities are permanently situated. So there is no challenger. No other living entity is equal to Krishna. Even Lord Balaram depends on Krishna. Sometime, I mean, in the Lila Mritam, it is mentioned that one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada here in Vrindavan that Krishna and Balaram, who is superior? And Prabhupada said, look at Krishna and Balaram, who is leaning on who? When you look at Krishna and Balaram, you will see that Balaram is leaning on Krishna. Meaning that even Balaram depends on Krishna. And we know that Balaram is an expansion, is the first expansion of Krishna. So even Balaram's existence depends on Krishna. Though Balaram is said to have all the spiritual powers, all the energies, all the strength, yet he depends on Krishna. So in Krishna, we can find all the transcendental qualities, and they are permanently situated in Krishna. So that is the position of Krishna. Ekale Ishwara Krishna Ara Sarva Britya. Krishna is the only controller, he's the only Supreme Lord. Everyone else is his servant. Britya means servant. Kinkara, we are all servants of Krishna. Everyone else, even including Balaram. Balaram serves Krishna in all the rasas. So everyone is a servant of Krishna. So that is the position of Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadira Adir Govinda Sarva Karanam Karanam. Now Brahma is defining the position of Krishna very clearly, that there is no other person superior to Krishna. Brahma is the first student of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Brahma is the first student of the Vedic literatures. Tene Brahma Hirdaya Adi Kavaye. Brahma was the first student to receive knowledge from Krishna. And he is telling us that Ishvara Parama Krishna. There are many controllers, but there is only one supreme controller, Parama Krishna. Parama Ishvara is Krishna. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's a supreme controller. Even though sometimes Krishna may take a subservient position to his devotee. As we see, Krishna carrying the shoes of Nanda Maharaj. Krishna being bound by Mother Yashoda. Krishna being chased by Mother Yashoda with a stick, and Krishna is running out of fear, he's shedding tears. This is just a loving exchange. He still remains the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada says, one does not become God. God is God. When Krishna was lying in his mother's cradle, Putana came thinking, this is a baby, I can poison him. But Putana had mistaken. The fact that Krishna was lying as a baby in the cradle does not mean that he was less. People meditate, people perform yoga, people perform tapas in order to become God. Those are very cheap gods, very cheap, and there are many in India. Cheap gods. They perform tapasya to become God. Krishna does not need to perform any tapasya to become the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why it is said that all the good qualities are permanently situated in Krishna. That is the position of Krishna. So, that Supreme Personality of Godhead is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the discussion between Lord Chaitanya and Ramananda Raya, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embarked on his journey to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya urged him that there is a very great devotee on the banks of Godavari. When you go there, make sure you meet him. And the way Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya spoke, Mahaprabhu understood there's a great person down there. I must meet him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was on the banks of Godavari, he had gone to take his bath. Then all of a sudden he saw a very big crowd with someone sitting in a palanquin. And he was accompanied by so many brahmanas and musicians. They were chanting songs, chanting mantras and playing music. He understood, this must be the governor. He must be the representative of Prataparudra. And that must be the person Sarvabhauma Brahmacharya has spoke about. I must meet him. So he was very eager to meet him. And as soon as Ramananda Rai saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also had a strong desire to meet him. The Lord and his devotee are meeting. So therefore there was a natural attraction between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Raya. So eventually they met, and they embraced and they cried. And it is said that those persons who were not very intimate, they were wondering why this young sannyasi is embracing a governor, a politician. They were wondering, but they could not understand the position of Ramananda Raya. So there it is said that there are two kinds of devotees, Sajatiya and Vijitiya. Sajatiya devotees are those intimate devotees who understand the mood of the Lord. And Vijitiya devotees are external devotees. They may behave like devotees, but they don't understand anything concerning the Lord. So the question is, where do we belong? Are we Sajatiya devotees or we are Vijitiya devotees? We must cultivate Krishna consciousness very deeply so that we can understand the mood of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is said that many discussions for 10 days, Ramananda Raya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would meet in the evening to discuss and share unlimited knowledge. Towards the end of their meeting, Ramananda Raya raised a doubt. He says, Eka samsaya mora achaye hridaya. He says, my dear Lord, there is a doubt in my heart. Can you clear that doubt? Then, what is the doubt? Ramananda Rai said, Tomara sanyasi swarupa muni shama gopa rupa. First you appeared to me as a sannyasi, but now I am seeing you in the sham rupa form as blackish Krishna with a flute on your mouth. Deki kanchana panchalila tanara gora kantya. I am also seeing your golden form. You look like a golden doll. And you have a golden luster. So please, tell me. Don't play any games on me. You must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You must be that Krishna. You must be that Shama Sundara who plays on the flute and attracts the attention of the gopis. You must be that Supreme Lord who is the source of every existence. Please confirm this. There was Ramananda Raya's request to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, Shama is blackish. But here, Ramananda Raya says, he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a golden color. He appeared like a golden doll. This is said to be the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Radharani has a golden complexion. And so, Ramananda Rai is seeing that golden complexion in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing, what Ramananda Rai is establishing, that the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shama Shundra, is appearing as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what did Mahaprabhu say? He says, because you have deep love for Krishna, Radhe Krishna Tumara Mahaprema Hai. That because you have very deep love for Krishna, you are seeing Krishna everywhere. And then he said, this is the vision of the Mahabhagavatas. This is the vision of the great devotees, exalted devotees. Wherever they look, they see Krishna present. Then he said, Prema Aswadana Anusange Prema Maya. So you have descended into this world to taste your own bliss. You have descended into this world to taste your own bliss and also to transform the whole world by distributing this bliss. So this is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Bhava Mitahi Yaha Aswadyan Swadhyayam Diksham Prema Diksham Ashikshayat. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he descended into this world to taste the sweetness of love of Godhead, and also to distribute this love to his devotees. So that is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He accepted the form of Radharani, the color of Radharani, the mood of Radharani, so that he can taste the bliss of his own nectar. And after tasting that nectar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he distributed this nectar to every living entity in this world. Furthermore, Krishnadas Kaviraj says, Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Premamaro Taro Priyam Sakarupa Bhakta Gana Krishna Prema Phala Pradhan. Now let me offer my respectful obeisances to all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the tree of the eternal love of Godhead. And the devotees are like branches that are distributing this love of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada is one of those major branches of the tree of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he descended into this world to distribute this love of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada has made all of us sub-branches and twigs, leaves and flowers of this eternal love, tree of love of Godhead. And our duty is to assist Srila Prabhupada to spread this mission of distributing the love of Godhead. The reason why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared is to distribute this love of Godhead. The reason why Srila Prabhupada appeared is to distribute this love of Godhead. And therefore, all of us who are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada's mission, we must also become agents for the distribution of this love of Godhead that Mahaprabhu has brought. Mahaprabhu appeared in this world. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he has to appear in this world in the form of a devotee just to taste his own sweetness. And after tasting that sweetness, the Lord traveled far and wide to distribute this love. And he empowered his devotees, like Srila Prabhupada, to further distribute this love outside of India. And so, we have taking shelter of the movement of Srila Prabhupada, and we must carry the mission of Srila Prabhupada farther and farther and farther to make every living entity in this world fortunate. That is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the mission of Srila Prabhupada, and that is the service Srila Prabhupada has given us. So everyone must meditate and consider how he can effectively distribute this love of Godhead by distributing the holy names of Krishna. Simply by performing Sankirtan everywhere, like King Prachinabharisat. Srila Prabhupada gave a comment in the 4th canto of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. King Prachinabharisat, after he sent off his 10 children, the Prachitas, to go and perform tapasyas in order to qualify to become kings, King Prachinabharisat, he was performing yagya, sacrifices, every moment, every place, everywhere. There were kunds of sacrifices. So Srila Prabhupada comments that if the International Society for Krishna Consciousness can perform Harinam, Sankirtan, just as Prachinabharisat is performing these yagyas, the whole world will be blessed. That is our duty. Hare Krishna, it's 9 o'clock. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So if there are any comments, they are welcome. If there are no comments, we end the class here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.